still working. Hey, from the milk house hum to the auction call, these are the folks standing strong and tall. Yeah, this is the bovine coming on the air, sharing the stories of the folks who care. Profiles of passion, voices of the trade, dairy strong legends being made. Yeah, this is the bovine coming on the air, sharing the stories of the folks who care. Profiles of passion, voices of the trade, dairy strong.
Welcome to the Bovine Podcast. Today we're doing something a little different. This episode goes behind the article, Calves for a Cause, $170,000 and counting, and lets you hear directly from the dairy dad at the center of it all. You're about to meet Daryl Marcus, a 60-cow producer from near Ingersoll, Ontario. Daryl and his wife Sarah have 7 kids, including Brooks, who was born in 2019 with a rare condition that means his body sometimes forgets to breathe. After 120 days in the NICU and more hospital stays than most parents see in a lifetime, Daryl found himself sitting in one of those hard plastic chairs, watching nurses and child life staff take care of kids who weren't his. He asked one question: how do I ever repay these people for what they're doing for our son? Out of that question came Calves for a Cause, the dairy charity sale at Canadian Dairy XPO that has now raised more than $170,000 for Children's Health Foundation in London, Ontario, all on the strength of top-end calves and an industry that shows up when it matters. In this conversation, you'll hear how the Marcus family juggled cows, 7 kids, and months in hospital, why nurses at London Children's became second moms, and how one simple idea, let's sell a calf and see what happens, grew into a headline sale in the We Cover Cow Coliseum. Whether you run 40 cows or 400, this one is about what dairy community really looks like when life tilts sideways. Let's jump in.
Can you give me your background, how you got started in the farming, kind of the family operations, and kind of what things look like today for the Marcus family?
So obviously I started with Markville Holsteins, ever since I was born, basically, out in the barn, helping Dad and Mom. Did 4-H, started when I was 10. Did that until I was 21. Then started milking cows with my brother when we were 21 as well, on a rented farm with 40 kgs of quota. And then bought a farm in Belleville in 2016. And then had the opportunity to buy a farm 5 minutes from home in 2008. No, sorry, we moved in 2014 to Belleville. I had a chance to buy a farm closer to home in 2018, and we did that and moved the quota and the cows from Belleville to our current location in Ingersoll, which is now 60 cows milking on 180 acres.
Okay. And you don't do that alone. I know that's a lot of work for yourself,
Nope.
but you don't do that alone because you have a fairly large family. Do you mind?
Yes. So it could be a little confusing for most people when we order things, but there's 4 of us in our family. Me, my brother Gary has his own farm about a stone's throw away, and then Mark is now running Markville Holsteins, and then my sister is about 2 minutes away from him, and she also has her own dairy farm, so we all kind of help each other where we can, and we're all, within a max 5-minute radius.
And just to extend the much even larger family, you have how many kids yourself?
I currently have 7, 6 boys, 1 girl. The girl's actually the last one.
I was going to say, and she is the baby, if I recall off the top of my head pretty well.
Yep.
Was that go until we get a girl, or was that just by what it worked out?
I think I was good till 4 and got forced to the next 3 to get the girl.
Okay.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Happy wife, happy life, right?
Exactly. I was just curious. I got the girl third, so didn't have to go all the way to 7. So we were pretty
Yeah,
good
yeah.
that way. So yeah, and then you have uh, is he the second youngest? Where does Brooks fit in
Brooks
the
is our sixth.
6? That's
He's
what I
so
thought.
second youngest. Yep.
Second youngest. That's what I thought. So, as a family dynamic, what does a day on the farm look like for all of you guys?
So we don't do our own crops, and we let another within our family. My cousins own a custom business, so they look after my cropping and all that side of it. My typical day is looking after the everyday duties of a 60-cow dairy farm, milking, breeding, all that side of it.
Mm-hmm.
The kids help with milking, stiff play sports, basically,
Yeah.
and trucking kids around, basically.
So, even before Brooks, you probably had a crazy enough lifestyle with the 5
Yes.
boys. But when Brooks came, was after he was born you guys discovered that he was having complications, or did you know ahead of time a bit, or how did that all?
Nope. No, it was, so basically we had no inclination anything was wrong.
Yeah.
He was born, so October 28, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
He was born blue, which of course is never good.
No.
Bluish gray, I should say.
Yeah.
Probably took them a half an hour to really get him breathing correctly.
Yeah.
And then once he was breathing correctly, they actually found a heart murmur. But then just kind of said, oh, he'll be fine. He'll grow out of it.
Yeah.
So then Brooke stayed in our room that night, or in Sarah's room, I guess it is.
Yeah.
Didn't wake up to eat or drink, or I guess eat. And then in the morning, Sarah tried to feed him, and he wanted nothing to do with it, and instead decided to throw everything up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was a straight bile, basically, and then that's when doctors got alerted to something. So they took him to the Woodstock, like their not NICU, but their like extra care center station.
Yeah.
Poked him. Well, didn't really. They stuck a gas tube down. They and did a couple X-rays, and it showed a blockage within his belly or his intestines, I guess.
Yeah.
And at that point, they emergency rushed him to London.
Okay.
And that's where that. Yeah.
And I'm sure that's a scary time for the parents going through all that. Not knowing what's going on. Even when you do, I'm trying to understand what that means going forward. Yeah. How did you and Sarah handle all that, or how did that?
Well, it has its days. I like looking back. Yeah, it was super traumatic as parents. Especially for Sarah, right? Like You have a baby. 12 hours later, your child's emergency transferred to London. And that took us. We got there after him, and but like for the mother, your typical child's born, you get to hold them and love them, whereas Sarah wasn't able to hold Brooks for 10 days. We were only able to look through a bassinet covered, right? Like, or whatever, I'm not sure what they called them exactly, but like he was inside one of those bassinet things with a cover on it. And yeah, you could just sit there and wonder what's going to happen with your kid.
Yeah.
And I will say the nurses at I'd say any children's hospital, but for us, obviously London, They're incredible. Like, we got lucky. We had a nurse that took him on as a I don't know what they call it, like I'm trying to think now, a core nurse, basically. So whenever she was on working, he was her kid, right?
Yep.
And we had two of them within the first 3 days. He was a little bit different for them in that the NICU's used to preemies, right? He was full term, no reason for really being there other than obviously the obvious, right? So, so we had two amazing core nurses almost right away. But it was all nurses, right? They're incredible, and the way they handle the family, the way they give you information is second to none. Like, it was amazing.
And between you, like, obviously you have family support at home, but there's still cows to be milked, stuff to be done at home, and you know the 5 other boys. It's probably quite still the busy time, but yet trying to be there as much as you can, and Sarah trying to do as much as she can. So the support from them probably helps a lot, but it's a lot going on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were actually fortunate that my cows and quota were actually at my dad's at the time, because we were doing a building project.
Yeah.
At our home farm.
Yeah.
So my cow, and you can see God's providence on it, I guess. In that, like, we had just moved from Belleville. Had we been in Belleville, we would have to go to Ottawa with him.
Ooh, and that'd have been hard. And you wouldn't have had the family support in there.
Which is an insane drive.
Yeah.
Whereas now we're 20 minutes away from a hospital.
Yeah. Or
from London. And at that time, Mark, my brother, obviously carried my herd in that, like, I wasn't able to be there as much as I needed to be. But I think he understood that. Dad did too, right?
That's what his family would totally understand.
Yeah.
And can you just describe, because I know you guys went through a lot, but maybe just share a little bit about what those, like the first year, or all the things that Brooke had to go through kind of early on to get, and I don't want to call it stable, but to get to a point where you could even come home and regularly and be home and stuff.
So for us, it was the first 4 months. We were he was from day one till 4 months old. I think I want to say February 22nd of 2020 we came home for the first time, or he came home. That entire time he was half in the NICU, half in the PCCU. At about, I'd say, that he had a disease called Hirschsprung's disease. Basically means his colon does not work. So he has no large intestine because of that. So that surgery to make for an ostomy happened, I'd say about 2 weeks in. And then at the same time, we were alerted to a disease that could be like his actual diagnosis, in that there was a breathing disorder that was tied to Hirschsprung's that they wanted to test him for. And when he had his surgery, they also tested him for this disease and sent the blood work to California. That took, I'd say close to 6 weeks. I'd say that, I'm trying to remember. I'd say 6 weeks to get those results back, because it included Sarah and I being tested for the same disease.
Okay.
So it was, his came back, and then we had to send ours back. Because if Sarah and I tested the same as him, then he wouldn't have had the disease.
Yeah.
But of course, we don't have it.
Yeah.
And that disease was congenital central hypoventilation syndrome. Also CCHS. So that's his prime diagnosis, and Hirschsprung's is a side effect of that diagnosis.
Okay.
Our first year was a mess.
Yeah.
Not a lot of issues with the breathing, but a lot of issues around his ostomy. Like his outputs were way too high. He just wasn't thriving. And I think in the first year, I think we maybe had 2 new ostomies put in as well, if I remember correctly.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't, and yeah, he just wasn't thriving. So it was a lot of time on TPN and in hospital. I think for the first year, we were probably in, probably half of the year by the time everything was set. And then, and it was almost the same for the second year. We were just having trouble getting him to, thrive, I guess is the right answer.
Yeah. And as a parent, that's the hardest thing in the world, because you try to do anything you can, but some of this, like especially in this scenario, is so out of your control.
Yeah. I think everybody was, concerned is the right word, I guess. Like everybody's trying to figure it out, right? Like he's got a whole team of specialists, right? Everybody's trying to figure out what's going on, and you're trying to figure out, hey, if he eats this, what happens? If he eats that, what happens, right? And you know all the things you're supposed to stay away from with the Hirschsprung's disease, but then he was reacting to things that he should have been okay with, and it just wasn't. Yeah, again, at 2 years old, I think he weighed he wasn't. If he was 20 pounds, it'd be a lot, I think.
Yeah, especially with his 5 older brothers who I know your family well, were bigger boys, so he'd seem quite small compared to his brothers.
Yeah. Yeah. There was times we took him in, and he just wasn't thriving. It was terrible,
But it sounds, or at least from my following, that as he's gotten older here, and you guys have gotten a better understanding, he started to do better.
So the thing we've learned along the way is not every ostomy is perfect, and doctors sometimes they do their best, right, to make a good one, and essentially through trial and error, you finally get a good one. And you hope that one works for the long term.
Yeah.
And I'd say probably around the end of his 2 years, once he was about 2 years old, we finally, after I'd say 4 or 5 different tries, we finally got a good one. And then he sailed for, I'd say, 6-7 months. He was really good. And then we decided to do, it's called a reversal.
Yep.
Surgery, which basically brought his small intestine down to his bum. To eliminate the ostomy, and that did not work.
Okay.
To say the least. Whatever the reasons are, age, possibly how severe his Hirschsprung's actually is. Right? It's something we don't really know. Still probably don't know how quote unquote severe it is. But yeah, it did not work. And then we spent, I'd say probably 9 months trying to make it work for him, and it was it was terrible for him, terrible for us. He'd wake up most nights screaming that he was in pain. It didn't work at all. And then finally he got really sick June of 23, I want to say. And he forced us to go back to an ostomy.
Yeah.
And at that time, we really wanted to see the top Hirschsprung specialist, which is in Toronto, or the Canadian one at least, which is in Toronto. So London made it happen that he could go to Toronto.
Yep.
And we spent about a week at Sick Kids. And that doctor decided to obviously go back to the ostomy. And ever since then, Brooks has thrived.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He's been unbelievable.
That's good news.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I've had the privilege of knowing your family since almost when you were like Brooks's type age.
Yep.
That faith and community are huge for you guys.
Yes.
Your parents, obviously, very much so, and yourselves.
Yep.
And so you decided to give back to everyone who's kind of helped and supported you guys. How did that start? Where did all the genesis of the Calves for a Cause even begin?
In a chair in the NICU.
Okay.
About, I'd say, probably 4 to 5 weeks in, you just realize what they're doing, right? Like how amazing the nurses are. There's side programs going on for kids, not so much him at the time, but because of his age, but like the play nurse, like what specialty as far as the child life, like that stuff you can kind of see going on. And yeah, like you just sit there and you see all this going on, and all I could think about is how on earth do I ever repay these people for what they're doing for our kid, or for our son, I guess. And I just, for me, it was fairly organic. I didn't think too far out the side of the box, and that I know the industry. I know enough people in the industry, and I'd never run a sale before, but I thought, you like, my original thought was, hey, I'll just throw a cap on Facebook and just let people bid on her, right? And if you get $600, you get $600.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we got out and COVID hit.
As I say, it was right during COVID times. So,
yeah. 2 weeks after we got out, we were shut down. So that added the online element to the first year. Yeah. But it's like, to be honest, like, I literally reached out to, almost like it was everybody really. Like Brooks had a large following, which we noticed fairly quickly. And we were getting a lot of messages of support and stuff, right? So yeah, I just started reaching out to people I knew, asked them what their thoughts were of putting a cap in the sale. I wasn't expecting donations per se, but everybody kept saying yes. And like I said, originally I just thought, hey, I'll just put it on, like, to be honest, my original message was actually to Ethan McMillan, who when I was in Belleville, I had some pretty good connections with. And I just emailed him. I said, hey, do you want to, if I do this on a Facebook page, you interested in putting a cap in? And he said, oh, absolutely. We'll do that for sure. We'll do that for sure. Yeah. And then I just kept asking. And then I made my first post. And then Julie Ashton contacted me fairly quickly, like within probably an hour and a half. And she wanted to be involved. And then probably fairly quickly after that, Nick Saubacher messaged me, and he wanted to be involved, and he donated his Cattle Plus platform for the online part of it. And then it grew from there. Like, I think the first year we had, I want to say we had 25 donated lots.
Well, I think a lot of that also comes from the fact that your family, yourselves, plus your extended family, had been so involved in the community that everyone wanted to help back, and then obviously you amplify that with the power of Facebook, digital media, whatever you want to call it, and I think it grew rapidly.
Well, it grew way quicker than I ever thought of it. It would, and the credit goes to Dad on how our family dynamic is. We're involved, and I go from show to show too. But Dad really, Dad was very involved, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I'm more just the show side. I don't show a ton, but I get around the show world a little bit. But Dad really planned that.
I can say as someone who interacted with your dad.
We would say your Clarence Marcus is, everybody knows who you are.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as someone who had the opportunity, you guys were just little when I first saw you, but your dad would take the time to, or does, probably still does, take the time to sit and chat with people, anyone, about things. And how do I say it? I was a bit of a crazy teenager at times, and your dad still would come and sometimes settle me down, sometimes just have a cool talk, just depended what he felt was needed at the time. So.
Yeah, no, that's him.
So as I said, he his care, and I'll word it this way: at some points I didn't understand your dad because I was a 16 or 17-year-old, and he would bring faith into it a bit, and I didn't come from strong that way. But as I got to know your dad, then I obviously understood all that. So, he was always a key part with him. It was faith and behavior. I'll word it that way.
Absolutely. That's how we grew up.
So you guys all have grown up with that. So that obviously,
I wouldn't say I'm an unknown person in the industry, but I'm not. I rode his coattails on that one.
Or he opened doors, or whatever you want to call it. But yes, no.
Right. I think lots of people know who I am, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's still directed to him.
Yeah. No.
That way. I'd say the first sale, that was all me just messaging people that I knew through shows on Facebook, and just kept getting yeses.
And it went extremely well.
Yes. The first year we made, what was it, 71,000?
Yeah. Some, so I was going to say in my notes. Yeah.
Yeah, 71 the first year. So.
And then the second year, I believe, is when you guys started moving or kind of working with Dairy Expo.
No. The second year, I actually ran it out of. The start, obviously, COVID made it so we couldn't.
Right.
But my dream was always to have a live sale because I always noticed. I loved going to Tavistock. Yeah. The sale barn, and I always noticed the sales were kind of not you don't have quite as many live sales anymore.
Yep.
And I always loved going, so I always wanted to make it a live, and so the second year we made it a live auction.
Okay.
I had basically I hummed and hawed whether to do it the second year. It's a lot of work.
Yes.
It's not, right? It's a lot of brain power. It's a lot of, you don't want to disappoint people. I was pretty tired after the first one. Mm-hmm. Yep. Even though it was online. But then, I didn't do much. And then in December of that year, I had people start contacting me that they wanted me to run it.
Yep.
So I probably had 15, 25 lots just of people that were calling me to say, hey, we want you to run it. We have a calf for you again.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right? And so that's where that came from. And I was like, you know what? Let's just make it a live one. But we still had the sale online.
Okay.
I just had I added the live viewing part of it.
Yeah.
And then the next year we moved to CDX.
Okay.
So 23?
23 was with Jordan and Underhill. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's grown quite well. It's become a key part to the events there. So that's been a great partnership. Yeah.
I think it's I'm proud to have started it. I think it's a very good sign. What's the right word? Image for the industry.
Yep.
I think again, like, because we do stuff with the foundation as far as like pictures and stuff.
Yep.
Which I don't necessarily need, but again, I think it's good for the industry to be out there. Hey, the dairy industry is giving back to the hospital,
yep.
Right? I always think that's good. But it's really taken off, especially internationally since we got to CDX.
Yeah, it kind of brings that even more exposure, or partners up to even more exposure.
Like, I get messages from all over the world about it. Like, not so much interested in buying just because of logistics, but just like, hey, that's amazing what you guys are doing.
Yeah, I think it is, and I think people recognize that, and I know that there's a lot more help in it now than maybe your first years, which is great. Yes. I know that Jeffrey has come on. Yep. Jeffrey been from not the start, but Jeffrey's been around for helping.
Jeff has been around since we moved to CDX.
That's what I mean. Jeffrey's been around. Sorry, I call him Jeff, but yeah.
So for the first 2 years, I didn't have expectations for calf quality.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just sell what people were kind of just giving, right?
Yep.
Whereas now with CDX, my goal was to make it the sale of the stars.
Yep.
Right? Like, I want it to be that, like, because I like going to the Royal as a kid. That was the cool thing to go see, right? And that was kind of my thought. I want to provide another like high-end
sale,
dairy show. More or less, I want like high-end show calves. We have some with numbers, but they also have to look good.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I am at, and that's where Jeff comes in. I don't have time to go around the countryside.
Nope. Yep.
And look and have looks at these cows, or heifers, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And bringing Jeff on has been one of the best decisions we've ever made.
Yeah, and Jeffrey obviously he gets around a lot and has a lot of connections, as you know.
And a ton of connections.
So he's able to draw and help elevate the quality, but also, he's a high quality judge in his own right, so he knows when it's a good one and a bad one or what they are. So he's able to help you that way and has the time to do it. So.
And on my end, it's important for me to have people that understand the cause. Like it's not. We've had a little bit of. This is not. It's important for me to have people that. What's the right word? Understand it's a charity sale.
Yep.
And are willing to. And Jeff has kids, right? So that really brings it all home too.
Yep.
That part of it's important to me.
And I think that's a key differentiator, to be honest, about this sale. You talk about there's not a lot of live sales and stuff go on as much anymore, but I think when because of the charity / emotional component to all of this, it's more than just a sale. It's an event. It really is an event, and that's why it fits well, I think, with CDX, because it is an event. There is the two parts. Like, it's not just, hey, we're selling high-quality cattle, which is great, but it is an event in it outright as well, so that makes it extra special.
And that is our goal with it, right? Like, keep it... And it's I want the special to stay part of the sale. Like, that's my... Like, the driver of it for me.
Yeah. No, and I know from talking to people who have donated calves or portions of calves or whatever over the years, that's obviously the key component for them as well.
Yep.
You talk about Kingsway, and we all know that faith is also a key element for them, and not surprising that they jumped on board instantly for many reasons, but that would be one as well, is they're wanting to help and donate, and for a cause, they would step up as quick as anyone, for sure.
I should, on the faith side of it for us, I'm not a huge faith talker, but I will, I typically will show my faith through how I behave.
Yep.
And for us, that's obviously part of this for us. It allows us to show that side of us as well through the sale, where I can. Obviously, I that's just how I am. Right? I don't know if that's right or wrong, but
no, it is. Everyone shows differently, and how would I say? Some people like to talk a lot more. Some people just through actions, and obviously that. But this is a huge action that you guys do to kind of share and do that. Has there been any? Go ahead, sorry.
Well, and for us too, right? Like, because we see it at the hospital too. Like, the way we deal with Brooks and the situation, people notice.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Like, they know, hey, these people they have something different going on, right? And for us, like, that's a big part for us. Like just understanding part of our, part of the journey of Brooks is how we deal with it, and showing our faith through that as well.
For sure. Have there been any surprising, or most memorable moments through the sales so far that would stand out to you?
Gonna make me cry?
I know. Sorry, buddy.
It's got to be Brooks leading a calf. 2024.
Yeah.
He had just gotten out of the hospital that day. It was, he wanted to do it all. He wouldn't stop talking about it leading up to him, and then all of a sudden he ended up in the hospital. And he got out basically, I think it was the day of. And, having him lead that calf for the first time, that's by far the most special moment for us.
And you see the look on his face that day.
He was loving he was loving it.
He was grinning ear to ear, and it didn't look like we were going to get him out of there too easily.
No, I think he ended up leading 3 that day.
I think he did a few,
Yeah. So, but he likes leading calves, so he leads them around the farm too sometimes. But that's by far the number most special moment I have. The second would be the first year we actually had, I think it was a team call with Nick, me, Russell. I think it might have been a Zoom maybe even. Me, Russell, Nick, and Julie. And the excitement in that call as the sale closed was amazing as well. But Brooks, that was that's by far my favorite memory.
And there's part of earning the money, and then obviously being able to share that back with the hospital. Has there been good feedback from that side, or how's that?
Oh yeah. No, that's they're like, again, some of their executives actually show up at the sale.
Okay. Yeah.
So like most years, there's 1 or 2 board members there.
Mm-hmm.
And then every year so far, they're one of their top executives is also there.
Yeah.
She's just the person I go through. I talk to her fairly regularly.
Yeah.
But the first or second year, he's the I don't know what the right, like in the PCCU, he's like the change, because it's a bit of a different dynamic, right? The PCCU for most people is a dreaded situation.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not that it isn't for us. Like, yeah, we don't want to be this, but like the PCCU is for mostly like trauma patients, right? Like,
But you guys probably have also found support from it, though.
Yeah, where they like the average, most PCCU patients are brought in after, say, a car accident, right? And they spend 2-3 days there, and then they get moved to another floor.
Yeah.
Whereas for us, because of Brooks' breathing situation, he has to stay in the critical care unit. But when he's healthy, they play with him. They do it like he's the king.
Yep.
When he's healthy, right? And then he sits at their desks and he helps do paperwork. So the first year they had I forget who wrote the article, but I think it was an Ontario farmer, and they had the article up at the very front of the entranceway. It was all about Brooks and the sale. That was pretty cool too.
Yeah. No, this is it. They've almost become like family, probably for you guys too, over the time.
We actually, we don't hang out with nurses, but we do a couple suppers with a couple of them. One we try to do around his birthday with his NICU nurses.
Yep.
And then Brooks likes to go hang out with some of the PCCU nurses on his birthday and stuff.
Yep, for sure.
And we try to go there with treats fairly regularly. Just to, we owe them a lot. Like, they were incredible to us. There too. It's just a feel of a need to give back.
Yeah. And I find it interesting because I do have known you for a while, and I wouldn't say you were the most talkative always. I'll word it that way. So now this probably has forced you to be more sharing of emotion than I would have ever said for you beforehand. Just, you know what I mean?
I'm not a big talker.
No.
I always laugh because Gary and I we used to always go to the judging schools.
Yep.
And I smoke them on my placings, but I won't give reasons.
Yeah.
Because I just don't like the mic.
Yep.
Whereas this has obviously had to make me, I've grown that way. Like, I don't know that I'm prepared to give reasons off a mic yet, but I've had to go out of my comfort zone, talk to people about, logistics of the sale, like that type of side of it.
Yep.
I've had to do some speaking events for the hospital. Which, hey, it's good for people to get out of their comfort zone.
No, I know. That's all I'm commenting, because I've known you since you were little. That's all why I say it is. This is probably the most talkative I've ever heard you be, other than if we were debating about what cow is better than another cow, just standing one-on-one, then I would know. You would talk a lot. At that point, I would probably not be able to get you shut up. But yes,
I can do cows one-on-one all day long.
That's what I mean.
I would love. I always tell Sarah I need to take nerve pills and then go to a judging school.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I always knew that, like, if we just talked one-on-one, standing in the barn, you wouldn't hold back your opinion, and you would share a lot. But in a more larger group setting, that was normally a trickier situation.
Yep. No, I'm definitely more reserved. Gary's the talker.
Gary is more,
Yeah.
I find that, like, twins, obviously, because you'll find two very distinct, maybe not appearances, well, you guys aren't identical, but personalities, you'll find very much difference between the two.
Yep. And yet, it's funny, we like the same thing.
Yep.
But yet, we're still very different in how we, it's still very different personality-wise.
Yep. We're more talkative, but for sure. So, with the sale, what is the goals? What do you, like, it's obviously grown a lot, and it's become a key event, but what are you hoping for it for the future, or what it grows into or develops, or what do you see for it?
My goals probably, I don't think, my goal is still to have it be the Sale of Stars. I don't think we're quite there yet. I want guys to be willing to give their best. Like for us, we have 40 stalls.
Mm-hmm.
And right now we have like upwards of 70 calves that want in.
Yep.
Right? So that allows us to pick the best of the best. So it's always my goal to improve on the calf side of it. Not that we're not at a high level now already.
Mm-hmm.
But I want I want it to be a go-to for I guess for international purpose, like the go-to. Yeah. If I can help CDX with visibility and they can help me with visibility and I can get more visibility for children.
Yep.
That's my end goal. At some point, and I like it for my kids. They get to see mom and dad doing something to give back.
Yep.
And they're all part of it. Like they all get days off school around the sale, just to help out.
Yep.
But yeah, I think I think long term with CDX, they're in for it, and I'm in for the long term. My end goal is probably $1 million. Obviously, that's a lofty goal. No, we'll see. I that's kind of in my head.
The neat part about
the last thing I'd long to run under than people want, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think as long as there's interest in it, I'm all in. Again, you don't want it to get old, right? And then be left saying, "Oh, gee, we only had a $2,500 average," right? Like,
yep.
That's. I want to be able to read the room that way. But as obviously right now, there's still a ton of interest in it.
Well, I was going to say the neat part of what you guys have done is instead of, how do I word this, just leveraging it as the charity part, you really have worked hard at growing it into a sale. And I think that's
yes.
the evident part. As you said, that was part of your evolution. Like, I do know, like, you look through the lots now, and you really do.
Yep.
I will say you get the best of the best from Ontario, or growing. It's growing. But as you say, your goal is to grow it from there. And that's still growing, but I think everyone's catching on that, hey, it is more than just the message of supporting the people who supported Brooks, that it is becoming more than just that. And I think that's a testament to what your goals are. So I commend you for that. But, the other part hasn't been lost. It's still there. It's just adding on to it.
Yeah, like my goal is to keep the family part, the giving back part, while pushing the high-end calves, from all over the North America.
And the neat part about that is, having known your family, that is so you guys, it's almost the two things that I would say to your family is the passion for Holsteins, or passion for cows, but I'll call it Holsteins. I don't know if I've seen too many jerseys. Well, a little bit. But in general, passion for, I'll word it as passion for cows and faith in giving back. So this is almost what I call the Marcus family trademark there, through and through, because I'm like, it's everything I've always associated with your family. So.
Yep. And Gary and Dad are heavily involved with it. I shouldn't say heavily. They are involved.
Yeah.
I will rebound a lot of my ideas on Gary. And Dad obviously is a ring man.
Yep.
And he loves that part of it. But yeah, that's huge for me, right? Like the family.
I don't think you'd keep your dad out of it if you try, given who he is.
No, I don't.
Everything that's involved, he's like, I'm involved one way or another. Even if you just make me a bump on a log, he's going to be involved.
I will say, I think both of them thought I was nuts originally.
Yeah, probably. But that probably isn't the first time they've thought you're nuts either, though.
Yeah, probably not. No.
Just saying.
But I remember having the conversation with Gary and Dad, like the original, before the first year, and both of them were like, "That's insane."
Yeah.
And then they seen how the first year went, right? And it's like, oh shoot, maybe he's onto something.
Yeah. Hey, that's part of Just not taking
Yep.
risk, but thinking outside
No.
and going from there.
Well, that's my original conversation with Russell before the Russell Gammon. That was one of my that's my first discussion even before Kingsway.
Yeah.
Was Russell. Russell played. I don't know what you want to call him. Was a very extremely supportive person while we were, and he still is.
Always
for
would
us.
be. Yep. Yep.
Through that whole entire journey. And he was my first discussion about the sale. He said, "Hey, if you don't risk, you'll never know."
Yep.
And that's when I decided just to jump 2 feet in and go for it.
And when it comes to Russell, especially like this one, it's a passion and heart project. I think he would be your biggest cheerleader / supporter / grunt work, whatever you would need. Russell would step up any way you need, and as I know, has done so and would do so, because that is Russell to a T.
Yeah, no,
so,
he's still a major part.
Yeah, so that's great. So, this obviously isn't the ideal circumstance of what you guys have gone through with Brooks. It's not been easy.
Nope,
you guys
make lemon in the lemonade.
That's amazing, but you have done just that. You've made a tough situation, and still not easy situation.
Yeah.
But you've made a positive that I think is amazing for you guys. What would you say to someone as, say, they are going through or happen to have something like this happen to them? What advice would you give them, and what advice would you say to them about trying to give back?
Oh, my advice oh man.
Or even just the hospital stays, because I know, like, we've had circumstances in our family where we've had extended with children lost.
So my advice would be is to keep a positive attitude. And if you're a faith person, obviously lean on your faith community, which is something we did big time between the church and the school. But yeah, like you gotta. A lot of times I find people want to work against the nurses, or almost, and I find if everybody's working as a team, everything works better. Would be my major advice. And be there for your kid, right?
Yep.
Like you're obviously the number one advocate for your kid.
Mm-hmm.
And don't be afraid to make noise where you need to. I always found any time that we've had to make noise, it's always been very well received by nurses,
mm-hmm.
right? And nurses will advocate for you as well, right? And that's especially and that's important in the journey. As far as giving back, I don't know what the right jump, like take a risk, I guess is the advice I'd give. There's many different ways to do it. For us, this was like I said earlier, the organic way for us to do it in an industry that we are part of anyway. But yeah, I don't know.
Yep. And what does it mean to you, or what would you say to the community that has supported you guys helping this become a success?
Oh, that's a huge thank you. Like I think I've posted many times, without the consigners trusting in the original sale, we're not at year 5 or 6.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Like really, all of my emails that day could have been, no, we're not joining in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But every one of them seen a plan or seen what could be, and they all jumped in on board. And
I don't know the exact things, but I would say a lot of them have become perpetual supporters.
Yeah. A lot of our sales, repeats over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. So.
And that part of it means a lot to me as well, and I think I tried to convey that to a lot of consigners still. That part means a lot to me, to have the same people trust you year after year after year.
If you were listening while doing chores or driving between farms, here's the simple takeaway. Calves for a Cause started with one tired dad in a NICU chair, one Facebook idea, and a community that refused to say no. And it's now turned into more than $170,000 for Children's Health Foundation and the kids cared for at London Children's Hospital. If you want to see the full story, the photos, and details on this year's sale at Canadian Dairy Expo, head over to thebullvine.com and look for the feature, Calves for a Cause, $170,000 and counting. If this episode hit home, share it with one other dairy family, 4-H leader, or show committee in your life. Stories like this do more for dairy's reputation than any ad campaign ever could. Thanks for listening to the Bullvine Podcast. We'll catch you next time.